started, you guys are going to be able to voluntarily unmute yourself. So if everybody wants to unmute and just say hi, that'd be awesome. We actually have some of our congressional champions joining us shortly. So in about 2 minutes, we'll probably mute everybody again. But please unmute yourself, say hi. It's so good to see everybody.
Welcome from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. What a great day. What a great day.
Such a good day.
Hello.
Hey from Florida. Yay! Is everybody else still on the legislative high from yesterday? That was so awesome to watch.
Yes.
Incredible. It actually coincided with the legislative call and wrapped up before the end of the legislative call, so it was a beautiful day.
So we actually just had Seth Moulton join. He's the House lead sponsor, and he wanted to share a few words. We really welcome you. Thank you so much. I'll hand it over to him.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining, allowing me to join all of you today. And, congratulations to all the advocates behind this work on this important milestone. I want to give a special thank you to my partners on the Hill, including Representative King in the House, who gave quite a valedictory farewell speech, his last time probably speaking before the United States Congress on the floor of the House of Representatives after a, I think, 28-year career. And he spoke on this bill, ending on a fitting note, doing something really good for his fellow Americans, and Senators Whitehouse and Cotton in the Senate. And a special thanks also to Dan Tate, Addie Barkan, Steve Gleason, Brian Wallach, of course, for their personal hard work to make this happen. And I understand that the Massachusetts chapter's executive director, John Hedstrom, is also on the celebration today. Thank you for all of your tireless work. Sadly, Brian's not the only person that I know who is suffering from this disease. And I got to know Pete Frates and his family because they're constituents of mine in Beverly, Massachusetts. Today is the 1-year anniversary of Pete's passing. But Brian, just like you, he fought his entire life, from his diagnosis to his death, to make sure that other people had a better chance. And this bill is the legacy of so many people like you and Pete, who are joined in that fight and are really setting an amazing example, an inspiring example for all the rest of us. I regret that it took so long to get this bill passed. It should not have taken 3 years for our leadership to bring it up to a vote when it has 305 co-sponsors in the House. That's one of the highest co-sponsorship numbers of any bill in the 116th Congress. So we've worked hard, all of us, to make sure people understand the importance of this legislation, the difference that it will make in people's lives. And it proved to be more of a fight than it should have been to simply get it up for a vote. But we've done that now. We've gotten it past the House and the Senate. It'll be going to the president's desk for a signature, and absolutely it will make a difference in people's lives. So my advice to all of you, if I may give it, is to continue doing this work, continue sharing these stories, and continue inspiring people like myself to do what we can to help, because there's much work ahead of us. Until we have a cure for this devastating disease, none of us can let up. You don't need to hear that from me. You all know it so well, and I'm inspired by your work, but know that it makes a difference. Your stories, your example, they do make a difference. And I'm proud to be a part of this.
Thank you so much, Congressman. When anybody speaks, we're going to mute everybody, but please feel free to unmute and thank the Congressman for his support. And so if anybody wants to unmute, give a shout out. If you're in his district, let him know.
Or shoot off any questions. I've got just a couple minutes, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them as well.
Congressman, what do you think made it so difficult to get this bill to a floor vote this particular session of Congress?
There's concern that by addressing this with ALS, we're leaving a lot of other diseases behind. And some of that concern is sort of a cynical view of budgets, and that we just can't afford to have a lot more diseases get this kind of treatment, because it does cost the US government more money. The other side of it is a feeling that other diseases will be left behind if we don't do it all at once, if we don't do them all together. And so, these aren't terrible reasons, terrible motivations in a certain sense, but I don't think people appreciated just how many people are suffering, ALS patients and their families, because we can't get this thing done that obviously the vast majority of Republicans and Democrats in both the House and the Senate believe in. So that's the argument that we had to make. And I've been pushing this behind the scenes with all members of our leadership team here in the House for quite some time now. And look, honestly, I'm sorry it took so long to break through, but we did.
Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Pam Van Vliet, and I'm with the Susan Mast ALS Foundation in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I lost my husband to ALS, so this
I'm
is
sorry, Pam.
extremely exciting. When will this take effect? When can I expect that my patients will be able to apply for the disability and not have the 5-month waiting period?
That's a good question. Of course, the bill has not been signed by the president yet. I passed another important piece of legislation about a month ago, establishing a national mental health hotline. And we got it through the House and the Senate, and it's sat for weeks on the president's desk for no known reason, or he, I guess, too busy playing golf or whatever to sign it. But hopefully this will get a signature quickly before Christmas. And then, yes, there are always some bureaucratic delays in getting it implemented, but I would expect early next year you'd be able to see these results. Olivia on my team, who is in so many ways responsible for getting this across the finish line, might be able to answer that question in more detail either now or later, but we'll certainly share whatever we learn about this with you and your respective organizations, so that you can spread the word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you did.
This is Olivia. Thanks so much. The congressman is completely right. In the bill text itself, we say that this should go into effect as soon as the bill is enacted, but we'll be watching the regulatory side very closely to make sure that that goes through.
This is John Hedstrom. I'd like to thank you all, Congressman and Olivia. Thank you for all your hard work over the past 4.5 years. So it's quite a slog on Capitol Hill. So thank you for all your efforts in getting this through. And thank you. It's great to see everybody on this call today, the whole spectrum of ALS community coming together to celebrate this. So thank you everyone for being on this as well.
Thanks, John. I'm down here in Washington this week to pass COVID relief, which we should have passed in May, and to fund the government, which is sort of pathetic that we have to go from continuing resolution to continuing resolution rather than passing proper budgets and whatnot to fund the government. And I say that because a lot of people ask me, Seth, why do you keep doing this? Like, this is so frustrating. How can you put up with this silly business in Washington, where we should be doing great things, and yet we can't seem to do very simple things like make sure that that we can pay our troops and keep the lights on in the federal government. And the answer is because of things like this, because we are able to make a difference in people's lives. And sometimes it is a really hard slog, and sometimes it takes a lot longer than it should. But that's why I'm here, proud to do this job, because there's so much important work to be done. And if you fight hard enough and long enough, you can get it done. And this bill is proof of that.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks, Representative Moulton, for your help.
Steve, it's good to see you, and you're welcome. You've been an amazing leader in all of this, and it's because of people like you that we're here all together today.
Awesome. Thank you both. Hey, James. Any other questions for the representative?
Not a question, but just a repeat of thank you, Congressman. I know that you have been fighting for the community for a long time. And those of us on the call have been involved for varying lengths of time. And we are all truly grateful to you for this important step forward. And we look forward to working with you on many more steps to come and to ultimately finding a cure or cures for this disease. And as you said so eloquently yesterday, fulfilling the vision that Pete Frates had for us.
Thanks, Brian. You're an incredibly inspiring leader, and I think we're all grateful for that. And we will keep at it. Thanks for all you're doing.
Sure. I would like to chime in here. Seth, you know me. You knew me before all this. I cannot tell you how proud I am of the effort and the way you have tackled this. I think you have seen the results of this community really standing up for itself and advocating for itself as we have not maybe in the past. And your victory for us really is a combination of your doggedness in pursuing this and the combination of the community standing up and providing the ammunition you needed to break down the walls that we saw before. So really thank you, and thanks to Steve and Brian and all of the advocates who got involved with this.
Dan, thank you so much. And for all of you who don't know, Dan was one of these people who helped us pull the strings behind the scenes. He's a Washington veteran, been around this town much longer than I have. And in just the last 6 months or so of our big push, was instrumental to getting this done. So Dan, thank you for your leadership and your service. We all owe you a debt of gratitude as well. So I unfortunately do have to jump off. I'm about to get on another interview with National Geographic of all things. So so I've got to go, but thank you so much. It's an honor to be a part of this, and congratulations to all of you on this important victory.
Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. We also are lucky to have Senator Mike Braun, who just joined us. Senator Braun is the Senate Caucus Co-Chair, and we'd love to hand it off to him to share a few words.
He'll be on in just 1 minute.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I wanted to see Steve Gleason. I know that you were excited to share some remarks. If you'd like to share, now would be a great time.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks to all of you for allowing me to join today. It's an honor to join the community in this celebration. When Michelle and I founded Team Gleason, we focused on what we could do that would immediately empower people and families working to live with ALS. Because of our passionate and enormously dedicated staff, Since then, we have provided over $10 million in adventures, technology, equipment, and care services to almost 20,000 people living with ALS, and countless others through inspiration and support. This is our mission until we all ultimately bring an end to the disease. Ironically, in our first meeting, nearly a decade ago, when I could still speak, I said that I did not have any interest in being an advocate, testifying before Congress, or passing legislation. My goal was to help provide other people in our community to live meaningful lives, despite facing the most difficult circumstances imaginable. I was singularly focused on getting shit done. But when what we were doing was being compromised by harebrained changes in Medicare, we were told we would have to pass 2 bills to change it. We did this together with you, all of you. We all did it. Without the ALS community activists, those bills, and the one we are here celebrating today, would not have had a chance. In January of this crazy year, I was honored with a Congressional Gold Medal. I still think it was a pretty crazy thing to do, but I'm not going to resist. During the ceremony, I said, and I think it bears repeating, I feel that the honor represents some joy, encouragement, and even triumph for the tens of thousands of extraordinary families currently enduring life with ALS, and more broadly, all of the ordinary humans who experience adversity, tragedy, or anguish. I believe that adversity is our opportunity, because we will all face pain and tragedy. Those families living with ALS face more adversity than most. Decade after decade, the ALS community has largely not been heard, and they were forced to fade away quietly and die. That is changing. Thanks to all of you, that is changing. It's clear to me that beyond the human capacity of imagination, our greatest strength as a species has been our ability to bravely share our vulnerabilities with each other. In doing so, we have galvanized our imagination into solutions. We're able to understand the issue and collaborate with each other to solve problems and overcome any obstacle. We are able to not only be heard, but a leading innovation for better tools, exploring what's possible, and like yesterday, passed another law. We are not only heard, but inspiring action. Thank you to all who valiantly fought for this legislation. This has been on the radar for many years, and to see it overwhelmingly pass the Senate and the House is a testament to all your work. Thanks again for having me here today. Let's keep getting shit done.
Thanks, Steve. We so appreciate that. Senator Braun, thank you too for joining us.
My pleasure.
Please go ahead and share. I know you put together some comments, but also know that the community is here. We're so excited and just celebrating. Thank you for joining us.
A pleasure to be here. It's I've been here a little under 2 years, and I'm going to say the journey in forming the caucus within the Senate and seeing all the elation with what we crossed the finish line with a few days ago. It's made it all worthwhile. Didn't realize how many in my close circle have been touched by ALS, and for the time I'm here in the Senate, I'm going to be actively doing everything I can to take that kind of common sense and street smarts I've used to build a business over the years and apply it to something that, to me, is in such need, even broadly beyond ALS, other ailments that people have very few therapies for, maybe not enough research working towards something. It's just such a rewarding thing to be part of, and it's going to be one of my focal points for the time I spend in the Senate. And it's been neat to meet all of you and realize we're going to gather broad support, I think, for getting resources devoted into the whole idea of making this place work more effectively, more quickly, so that when there is some promise that it doesn't dangle bureaucratically in a frustrating way. And I think that we're just on the cusp of that happening. So again, anything that you need from this office, feel free to interact. I've got a great team, and we finally got something that's across the finish line, and Promising Pathways Act, several other things I've been involved with in a short period of time, would try to bring the vast resources of my new employer, the federal government, to actually deliver measurable results for you and others, you know, in the same challenge. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator. Anybody have any questions, any thanks, any gratitude you want to share? Please just unmute yourself.
I'd like to say, this is Peter Gleichman, the ALS Association of Georgia down in Atlanta, Senator Braun. I was so moved to watch the floor vote and then the subsequent comments by yourself and Senator Whitehouse and Senator Cotton afterwards. I also want to say how inspiring the formation of the Senate caucus as well as the House caucus has inspired me as the advocacy chair for our association to seek the formation of a similar type caucus in the state legislature. And I would encourage those advocates around the country to maybe consider emulating the formation of the Congressional ALS caucus within their state legislatures to seek the benefit of that type of caucus and consolidated work that your caucus has so obviously illustrated. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Senator Braun, it's Kathy from Indianapolis. I just want to thank you. So good to see you, and thanks for all your help.
You're welcome.
Senator Braun, this is Jill from Lebanon, Indiana. I just want to echo Kathy's thoughts and say it's a great day to be a Hoosier, and it's a great day to have you fighting for us. So thank you.
Now, I think that from what we've heard from Georgia, we need to make sure our own state legislature is active in the effort. And I wouldn't dismiss what can be accomplished at the state level. I, more than any senator, am trying to reform the healthcare system in many different dimensions, but this is a slow operation here. States, I think, have a lot of ability to weigh in. So any Hoosiers listening, work on our state legislature. Love the idea down in Georgia, and there ought to be those same groups in place in all 50 states. It should be a broad collaborative effort, and things will get accomplished, I think, when you put that kind of grassroots effort behind it.
I would agree with that, and I see Corey Portland is here on the call. I'm not sure if he's able to unmute. But I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for moving at the speed of ALS. It is not often that we see DC work and work rather quickly. I know that the fight to get this bill passed was a multi-year fight, but the time period from the formation of the caucus to the actual passage of this bill was incredibly fast. And as someone who spent a long time in DC, when you see things work, it makes you want to make more things work. And so we as a committee truly look forward to working with you to pass additional legislation and to really show the country and to show the system how we can make change and improve people's lives and do so in a bipartisan way where we look at how we better the outcomes rather than getting stuck in the weeds. And I thank you for doing that here, and I look forward to the next time we can do that together.
Thank you so much. When I interviewed the current commissioner of the FDA, I asked specifically and several times, will you take a more agile entrepreneurial approach to especially ailments like ALS and the therapeutics and the research that needs to move at a quicker pace. It's the foundation of the Promising Pathways Act, and for healthcare reform in general, and particularly with the FDA, where we've seen in all of us, dealing with COVID, what can happen when you marshal the energy and the efforts with the fact that we've got several vaccines that will actually come to fruition in a year or less, when that time frame typically would have been 4 to 6 years. So we need to see that same dynamic, put into play in areas like ALS, and we now see the benefits of it in what recently has occurred with 3 vaccines coming into play here soon that'll start tamping that down. It shows that it can be done if you marshal the interests, the efforts, and the resources to do it.
Hi there, Senator. I appreciate all your help in this. And it is great to see your effort more broadly. I look forward to more work together.
Same here.
I wanted to take a moment to say a special thank you for your work on this, Senator Brown. I think many people do not know your staff, but in particular, Katie and Riley are awesome. They are really rock stars. Also, I want to make a special shout out to you because as a person who's been in DC for all my adult life, I think a key point in changing this narrative on the bill was when you went to Leader McConnell and prevailed upon him and sort of moved him to be more engaged on this. And that made a significant difference for folks who may not know. That was sort of a logjam, and then you, I think, broke that, and it really goes to your dedication to us all. As you can see, often I do not get on Zoom these days because I am reminded that although we had an amazing week, thanks to you and your colleagues, I took a header in my basement. So I am reminded of the messed up nature of ALS, that we can have such a momentous week, but still we are vulnerable to our own individual circumstance. So thank you for the thousands of people who are benefiting from this, and we love working with your folks.
Dan, thank you so much. And I'm glad you brought up Katie, Riley, Audrey. Everyone here has put a lot of time and effort into it. And to be honest, I get to take a lot of the credit, but we work together because I recognize it as being an area that I want to pay attention to. The staff did an unbelievable job of getting it to work, and we've got that experience now in place, and we hopefully will be the office, including me as a senator and the staff, that does all the heavy lifting to work on any issues, any new ideas or legislation that's going to always push the cause to keep searching, especially for research, therapeutics, and however we can keep moving the dynamic there. That's my main interest, because all of that, when we actually realize hitting the finish line, helps everyone affected by it. So we've got this across an accomplishment we should all be happy with, but we've built a team here that should be the tip of the spear to go after several other endeavors.
No more headers, Dan. We need you for many years to come.
It was nothing but embarrassing. See if I have had worse head injuries playing football, but it is so embarrassing.
Addie, thank you so much for joining us. Dan, you're handsome always. Addie, Barkan, everybody.
This is such an exciting day. So many people here have poured so much passion and energy into this struggle. And so many families will benefit in the years to come. During what will be some of the hardest months of their lives, these families will have a little more financial support and a little less to worry about. To all of you advocates and members of Congress and staff who have worked so hard, thank you so much. One of the special things about this legislation and this group of people is that, hopefully, luckily, none of us are going to benefit from the law. Those of us with ALS have already passed our 6 months waiting period, and I pray that those of you with healthy families will not join our ranks. But we have come together to pass this legislation because we know that thousands of families will be struck by ALS next year and the year after that, and this law will help them. We can put ourselves in their shoes. We can see their humanity. We can see their struggle. And because of that, we have come together across party lines to pass this bill. I admit that I am surprised and impressed by the bipartisanship that this community has built. It is refreshing and invigorating to see such unanimity in support of strengthening the social safety net for some of the most unfortunate people in our society. So, in closing, I just want to urge our champions in Congress to keep showing this kind of compassion. There are so many people who are struck by unlucky breaks. Many people need health care and cannot get it. Many people cannot afford the basic necessities, even though they work so hard. We live in the richest country in the history of human civilization. We can afford to help the least fortunate among us. We can afford to be charitable and be compassionate, as all the great religious leaders and moral philosophers urge us to be. And to the members of the ALS community who have led this fight, thank you. Your dedication and perseverance gives me energy and hope. And that is a precious gift indeed.
Thank you, Addie.
Other 80, thanks for your effort and your passion, brother. Great to see you.
Yes, thank you very much, Addie. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Lecker. I'm the community lead organizer at I AM ALS. And I hope you all just didn't think you're gonna watch us and watch people speak. We've got some questions for you. So I'm gonna start a poll and then you tell me why this number is important. So get ready to click and get ready to be challenged. So here's the first one going live. Why is the number 96 important with SSDI? Oh, they're coming in. Got some pretty smart people in this group. I'm gonna give you another 10 seconds. Okay, it's trickling in. We're gonna end the poll right now. And the results are in. Y'all are pretty darn smart. You got it right. It's the number of senators who voted for the SSDI bill. Okay, I'm gonna do one more and then send it on over to Kathleen. Okay, so why is the number 1407 important? Okay, this one may have been too easy, but that's okay. I'm gonna give you 10 more seconds. Krista Thompson in chat says legislative team members know all of these. They should know all of these. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll now. A+. You guys rocked it with this one. And I lied, one more poll question. Okay, let's choose this one. Why is the number 67 important? First one is it's the number of bill co-sponsors in the Senate. It's the number of senators who voted for the bill. It's the bill number, and it's not this answer. If Adam Wilson is still on the call, I'm betting he chose it's not this answer. If I got that wrong, Adam, you can write me a comment. Okay, I'm gonna give 5 more seconds. And it's the number of bill co-sponsors in the Senate. Thank you all for playing along with me. Adam just informed me he did choose the first one, so I'm not sure who else chose it's not this answer. But thank you all for playing along with me, and I'm gonna send it on over to my incredible colleague, Kathleen.
Hey everyone, it's great to see you. So I'm going to share, Senator Murkowski has been an incredible champion for this community, as many of you know, but she couldn't make it today. So I am going to share my screen and I am going to play that message for you all.
Hello, I'm U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski from the great state of Alaska. As someone whose family has been personally impacted by ALS, I feel that I'm part of the ALS community. I worked alongside many of you to help increase research opportunities and ensure that those living with this terrible disease have the support that they need. The progress that we've made with the ALS Disability Insurance Access Act is a significant milestone in our efforts together. And yesterday was a big, big day with passage of the bill through the House. Now it heads to the White House. I'm thankful to Senators Whitehouse and Cotton, who introduced the bill, and all those in the ALS caucus that work with us on these important initiatives. This is an important step towards access to care for those living with ALS. Truly a worthy reason for today's celebration. Take care.
Awesome. Well, a big thank you to Senator Murkowski, even though that she couldn't be there. So please, everyone, as you all do so well, make sure that she feels our love on Twitter, Facebook, whatever platform that you use. All right. So we have another video that Senator Whitehouse was able to send to us. He also could not be here, so I am going to share that one with you all as well.
At long last, we have a little bit of good news for ALS families, and that is that people diagnosed with this disease can get onto Social Security disability insurance right away without a 5-month delay, which is often right in the middle of the most important period for engaging with the illness. So all the ALS activists who helped make this happen, to our friends in the House who delivered with a quick vote today, thank you. This was a good one.
All right, and last but not least, Congressman Quigley has a message for us all.
You know what I just learned?
Hi, it's Congressman Mike Quigley, and look, a big congratulations. Passing the ALS Disability Insurance Access Act is a huge win. Ending the 5-month waiting period for a disease like ALS, where every day is a gift, is extremely important, and you owe it to your own hard work and your great organizational skills. It's a big victory for dignity as well. So congratulations. You know, I want you to know it's been one of the great honors of my career to work alongside I AM ALS, and I want to continue that effort. Heading into our 7th term, we have so much more that we can do, but working with champions like you is going to make it all worthwhile. Next up, pass the Act for ALS, and hopefully when we celebrate that victory, we can do it in person. Happy holidays, everybody. God bless.
It was great to hear from our champions. And I'm going to pass off the mic to one of my favorite champions. We at I AM ALS have a whole bunch of teams who do a whole bunch of incredible work. They show up every single week, every single day, and really make the work that we do just move faster. I'm incredibly honored to be working with these individuals. And one of the individuals I want to highlight right now is Krista Thompson, who's a co-chair of our legislative affairs team that meets every Tuesday. So Krista, I know I'm putting you on the spot, surprise, but if you want to share a few words about you know, what this moment means to you and how we got here. Also, I want to mention that Krista's name was mentioned on the House floor yesterday, which is pretty incredible. And I heard that it impressed your kids, which impressing teenage boys is not easy to do.
Not easy. So thank you, Michael. You are putting me on the spot, but I don't mind because ALS puts everybody on the spot. And I think this legislation is so important to the legislative team. There's a lot of members of our team on the call because we know what it's like to go through this diagnosis and those first few months and the expenses and the financial, you know, terror that goes with that. So it means a lot to us. People that know me know that I'm from the littlest state, Rhode Island, but I have a lot of pride. So I always I always want to thank my Senator Whitehouse, and our congressional delegation, who have just been incredible supports to me, Congressman Langevin, Congressman Cicilline, and Senator Reid. But also what this win means to me is that what we are doing is working, and that the champions on this phone call are examples of senators and, Addie Barkan, Steve Gleason, Brian Wallach, champions, Dan Tate in the community, that this is something that I think we are all going to remember as something that gave this community hope. The SSDI bill passing is an example of what advocates can do when they engage with their members of Congress and get their friends to engage, because we are all fighting for the same thing, which is an accelerated timeline to treatments and cures. So I am more energized than ever, and I feel like the people on this call, everyone should take a bow and feel energized as we head into the next challenge, which is passing Act for ALS, because at the end of the day, we want to see our friends, and my husband, Olin, who was diagnosed almost exactly 2 years ago to the day. We want medicine in the bodies of people with this disease, and we want to end ALS. And I will just say this, I also have been asked privately in chat where we get Brian's hat. So thank you all very much. It's been an honor to be here, and I'll see you all on the ledge call Tuesdays at 2:30. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Krista. So proud to be on a team with you. And we're going to find out from Brian where he gets his hats in a moment, but you guessed it, another poll. So here's a poll that's coming at you. Why is the number 435 important? Is it the bill's number in the White House, the number of voting members in the House, the number of initial co-sponsors in the House, or how many times I had to view the Schoolhouse Rock video in order to prepare for the I AM ALS Legislative Affairs team calls?
The last one.
It's actually 2,000 with that number, but okay, I'm gonna give some people another 2 seconds. And I'm sharing that poll, and it was the number of voting members in the House. Although 10 of you were close with how many times I viewed the Schoolhouse Rock video. And then I'm gonna do one last poll and then head over to Brian, so got a heads up. Okay, launching the poll now. Why is the number 116 important? Is it the bill's number in the House? It's the congressional session we are in. It's the number of initial co-sponsors in the House. Or is it the number of minutes this bill was debated on the floor? And for those who are interested in the hat, Lori just posted where you can buy it from that hat that is super cozy from a different Lori. So many incredible Loris in the world. Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 more seconds. And it is the congressional session we are in. We're about to close out the 116th and about to enter the 117th. Thank you all for playing along. You are not only champions at ALS, but champions in polling and quizzes. So I'm going to pass over the mic to the co-founder of this incredible organization, Brian.
Well, I have to say, one, it is really hard to follow every other speaker on this call, so thank you guys for making me laugh. Two, the thing that keeps making me smile on this call is the addition that I would have to what Steve and Addie said. This amazing group of people and this effort was about humanity. It was about dignity but it also was about community. And what we've seen happen in the last couple of years, and what we've seen across every organization, is a groundswell of people saying, I can actually have an impact in this fight, and I want to change the trajectory of ALS, not 20 years from now, but now. And so folks like Corey Pullen, who's been a relentless advocate for PPA, folks like Krista, who has been breathing the drum on Act for ALS, and everyone in between. You are literally changing the course of a disease that people said would be impossible to change. And so one of my favorite sayings has become, I want to surround myself with people who believe that impossible just means it hasn't been done yet. And this group, this community, lives that every single day. From Steve pushing me to get a wheelchair to everyone actually pushing to get Bell's path. You are incredible. I am near tears because of you, and I am proud excited to pass these two critical bills next year and to really rewrite this chapter so that we and every future generation of ALS patients can look back on today and say, this is where it began to change, and how it was pretty effing cool.
Thanks for all your effort with this, Brian. I'm reminded of our meeting in DC, along with Dan, our meeting with the Senators Caucus. That was a turning point, I think, and I'm happy that I could join you too. I appreciate you. Thank you, brother.
And I will say, for those who don't know, in that meeting, Steve made an impassioned plea to 3 Democrat and 3 Republican senators. There really was a moment in time where they had to look at Steve, myself, and Dan and say, these are the human beings that are impacted by the work that we're doing. And on the way out, I turned to Steve and I said, I promise you we will do everything we can to pass this, which really meant, I promise you, Dan Tate will do everything he can to pass this.
Well, with that, I had to share with you when Brian told me that he put it a different way. He said, I just promised Steve we would get this done. And I'm like, what? But at that meeting, this will be telling as to how powerful Steve Gleason is. There were 6 senators there, 7 if you count White House, but he had to leave. The 6 stayed for the entire hour, of which the electeds who are paid to speak for a living maybe talked 10 minutes. It was the 3 guys with ALS talking for 50 minutes, and they did not ever move at all. So we have Steve and Brian are so compelling, but this, and I totally believe that Steve making his impassioned plea change the course of this film, because it really engaged these 6 senators, but also I cannot tell you as a person who has been doing this at the highest levels for 30 years that I have ever seen a group galvanized and being more passionate, more organized, and more effective than this group of advocates. It's really striking to me how you all give us all of the ammo we needed to make Steve's and Brian's vision happen. So you all are really amazing. Amazing.
I mean, that this is about you. This is about. Steve, you got to go first. You have a gold medal.
Brian and Dan are saying that I was crying like a pussy.
Well, I will follow that just with the last of this is about you. This is about us. This is about our hopes, our dreams, our lives that were interrupted by a disease that we never expected nor wanted to have, but we found ourselves here. And the way you've responded has set the tone for so many and has set the tone for what we can accomplish in 2021. And I agree with that. We have a lot more to do. Today is a great day. Tomorrow, when we actually begin to get cures into our bodies, will be an even better one. So here's to tomorrow. Here's to all the parts that will make that real. And here's to standing shoulder to shoulder every single day until we do so. Love you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. We don't really have any other programming or fun quizzes. Anybody have anything else that you guys want to share? This is a community, and I know that we'd love hearing from you guys.
I'd like to say thanks to everybody who participated in Congress.
Thanks everyone for all that you do. Oftentimes there are 100 faces behind each one that we're looking at right now, but everyone has played a role in getting this done and everything that this ALS community has done throughout and will continue to do. As another ALS advocate, Ed Rapp, who's living with the disease, says, it's 5 minutes of celebration and get back to work.
Hi there, my name is Sabrina from Chicago. I just wanted to jump on and say thank you very much. My dad had ALS, and I will never forget the feeling of leaving the doctor's appointment when he was diagnosed and just feeling extremely alone as a family, and finding this community has just been such a breath of fresh air of feeling like such a family, that yesterday especially was such a remarkable time of feeling so much togetherness with ALS, and really feeling like for the community of ALS, for patients, for caregivers, for all of it, that this is really just the start of taking off. And I think that there's so many remarkable things to come. And I've said this before in a legislative call, but the I Am ALS name, I think, is such an amazing name because all of us on this call are ALS, whether we personally are affected by it, a family member or a friend, that all of us are ALS. And I am extremely proud to be ALS, and I will continue to fight for all of you that have ALS. I will continue to fight for my dad and his name and for my family. And I'm really excited to see where this is going to go, because I believe that the future is just going to be remarkable for where this all takes off. So thank you, everybody, for everything that you guys have done.
If there's a moment to share one more thing, my name is Sandra. I'm a co-founder of I AM ALS and Brian's wife, and I just also want to thank the teams from so many different advocacy groups, Claire at Team Gleason, and so many others on the phone, and also, of course, the I AM ALS team, who is the most spectacular team. I'm so privileged to get to work with all of you. And I know we have Danielle and Teresa and Michael and Suzanne, and I'm so sorry if I'm forgetting names, but I just wanted to just throw some love on the team. And then I just wanted to also say something about what Dan said, which is Dan has been on the Hill longer than, I mean, not to like age you, but like a long time. And, you know, every time we do something wild, I look at Dan and I just gut check it. And I'm like, this is crazy, right? And he's like, yeah, this is crazy. So I just, I want to give you all that energy that I think, you know, others have said, but I just want to put like 10 exclamation points after it, that what this group is doing is crazy and it's so amazing, and it's just the beginning, and it builds on so many years of hard work, but it truly feels like a turning point. And I just want to give that loving energy to everyone who's a part of this.
Great work, everyone. Our future is boundless. Love y'all. Let's keep getting shit done.
Well, no one can say it better than Steve. So thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. Thank you for getting this to happen. Thank you for joining us today. And as you can tell, the energy is very much, let's get back to work. There's a lot more to do. We have a lot of people to save. So thank you, and let's do much more together. Appreciate it.
Thank you.